Good afternoon, beautiful, beautiful people. I figured I was inspired to come back. I actually should be laying down because I have to work tonight. But um, I had a thought. You know, one should think at least 3 good times a day, deeply preferentially. But I had a thought, right? And I said to myself that here I'm upper middle aged black male, and I never really recall being a part of any specific type of organization, like whether it be any type of organization, you know, uh, 4-H club, some old ass shit, Boy Scouts, um, basketball, football, baseball team. I mean, I was on a track team for a second, but that was a highly unsuccessful stint. I really just did that shit to go on the trips and eat fast food away from the house. But not in organizations, and no organizations in college, uh, no organizations in adulthood. And I mean, I'm not that this is some type of me complaining about or anything like that, but it was like I thought about it and I said, maybe some people might find that peculiar, but um, I do self-profess myself to be an introverted person because I spent most of my time growing up. I had sisters. I had four sisters, two older than me, two younger than me. So I stayed within myself. Not that I was antisocial with my sisters and people or whatever, but I kept to myself. A little boy who kept to himself. And I think being brought up in that way, I mean, well, yeah, there had to be some, of course there was some rearing. I had to be reared, but I did have a mind state, uh, uh you know, read a lot of books, um, you know, did a lot of things creative, I don't know. I mean, you don't know. I practice creative arts to some degree, but I never, I mean, I never really, I guess I couldn't really conceive because in a lot of cases with these organizations or whether it be a team or whatever, I had the prideful, I had the ego or the mindset or whatever. Could nobody outside my parents and my grandparents, of course, close to them, but really directly, could nobody outside uh my family household talk to me in any kind of way because I'm going to rebel against it. And that was just and that, I guess it takes a little practice over the years to get accustomed to, but to some degree, I still am that way. I keep to myself. I don't do too well in cliques. I mean, I can play chameleon in a social setting for a good amount of while, but after a while, busy. What's happening? After a while, in a, in a, um in a crowded situation, maybe with familiar people, maybe without familiar people. In some situations, I do better with unfamiliar people. But I mean, I say all this. I titled this video. I said I'm an alien looking for my kind. I mean, all not just being an introverted person doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have any type of associates or people that you share a common interest with and things like that. Uh, so that's who you at least make an attempt to drift toward because sometimes while you playing chameleon. Somebody else might be playing chameleon on you. So once again, it's like, well, you're a stranger in a strange land, but really it's like you're a strange. Nah, you can't say you're a strange spirit. It's like your spirit. You put your spirit out there, and then your spirit comes in contact with all types of spiritual energy. Not to sound too hippie-ish, but you feel, they call it the vibe. You feel certain types of vibes, and if you have because they say that I'm a Pisces, whatever they say, Pisces is sensitivity. Yeah, yeah, and that's part of being sensitive. That's I have a hypersensitivity to certain types of vibes, and a lot of times it's not wrong. And I'm sure there are people like that, but it may be people that, and people might see that, might look at me like, well, nigga, you don't, you just saying that shit. You ain't on that shit either. But it's people that make other people, in my eyes, it's people that say that shit, but I don't see him on it. This is just what my mindset be on, and it's like I was an adult when I learned this term. I know it was probably an old term, but the term is group thinking, and credit where credit is due. My fellow Pisces, famous female songstress Erica Badu, um, she hit me to the phrase group think, and it was something in which I'd always pretty much had rebelled against. I guess in the name by my nature. You just can't tell me anything. I have to find. I'm the little kid that didn't believe Fat Meat was greasy. I touched the hot stove, whatever. I think I'm strange. I think everyone else is. You say you don't think you're strange. You think everyone else is. Here's to the introvert. Show enough. Yeah, yeah. Don't get that refrain. Mm. I just look at it as you go through, and I guess that's part of that's part of being the effect of being an introverted person. You come across a couple of good eggs, and they few and far between. But then after a while, in the spirit of being an introvert, you can only let certain people to a certain degree inside your inner circle, your inner sanctum, uh, your space. You want to keep your space. I guess that's why they shake that sage shit or whatever, clear the negative energies out there. But I don't know. But I just think sometimes mm, maybe a beam of light come out. How that old movie when the little beams of light came out the sky, and everybody woke up to their alien identity. Oh man, or better yet, I don't know. It's this movie that George Clinton. I don't know if he produced it or whatever. It's called Cosmic Slop, where the aliens came and they start teleporting all the black people up. To carry them back to outer space with them. I guess that was figurative for the wheels in the sky. Now that I'm older, I believe they're strange. This is their normalcy. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you held on to that strangeness for so long, that is your identity at that point. I done come across strange people, weird people, crazy people. Uh, uh and after a while of them wearing that costume or being that identity, that is what you come to expect from them. I'm sure that in my long, my different snapshots in my history, people might have an image in which they see me as. Mm, and I appreciate you dialogue with me, Busy. I mean, I went to school with some fairly decent minds, but I think that it with my tendency to go against I guess norms in general, whether they be political norms or traditional black norms, because I was saying, like I said, I don't, I had thought about, well, I guess I had requested, put out to want to join a fraternal organization while I was at college. They were on suspension for some reason. Then, my grades, I tricked out on my grades. So in my mind state, when I wanted to try out, well, pledge, I would have done it. But then after I was able to see what it was, from just being on the outside, I'm like, man, I mean, I like the colors and I like the, okay, nigga do them steps real cool, cause for me, they were talking about you get connections and woo woo woo. I'm like, man, I'm just looking at yeah, these cats out here getting the prime pics of the women on the yard or whatever. That's where my virility was at the time. Um after after I seen some people before joining and then them after joining, I guess they may consider that being growth, but you still see let me stop, man. I ain't even go there with them people. And I guess that's why I stayed myself because I started seeing shit and saying shit, and people take offense to being identified for who they are. Oh man, I need to be read on. uh, walking down there, uh, walking down the avenue, always doing something new. Dun, 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 dun. That used to be a hard. Really, that was a hard ass album. Really, the last man. What can Word Up was Strange on Word Up, or no, Attack Me on Your Love, Attack Me with Your Love was on the one before that, I think. But yeah, um, music provides a bit of escapism. So I guess I don't know. I don't know, man. You do your best to relate to with what relates to you, I guess. And I'm pretty much talking myself through this on this live. Black folks be like, the more black people seek counseling, I go to a counselor. Yeah, man, you go on say what it is. A psychiatrist, uh, a psychologist, or I go to counseling. Counseling, niggas go see the pastor and let the pastor pick out a choice phrase or something from a verse from a certain book. Find some. What's that one? They find some in the Psalms that address your your situation and send you home to pray about it, nigga. Uh, you still crazy? You been you now you how long you been going to counseling? Because you still seem to be the same equivalence of uh the Lulu crazy you always had been before then. So I don't know, and yeah. Yep. But busy. Let me take my headed ass somewhere and lay down. I'm off this weekend. This was my short week. I only worked Sunday, Sunday, Wednesday, and today. So I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And more than likely, I'll be on here talking about something, in the name of building my channel by being consistent. Fuck YouTube, man. I got to say you did it just about every time I come on here. I still can't believe that. Ooh, they let me build up to. I had like 40,000. I had a gang of hours, watch hours, and they kept denying me uh, my monetization because it was Charleston's video, and Charleston they gave me permission to use the video. But hey, you got to build your channel. If all else fail, build your channel on your own merit to the best of your ability. But I don't think they be playing fair with me, biz. And you would think on some of these lives, at least more than 5 people would come through and fuck with us while we talking, right? Yeah, you do the same, biz. Um, yeah, but you would think that. At least I would think that. Nevertheless, if you're on my Facebook page, peace and love to you. Since if you're in the nigga room, the Niger room on my YouTube page, peace to the nigga nation or nothing. I'll holler at y'all next go around.